Hello, Mama. I am excited to be with you this week. I know I've mentioned this in other episodes of the weekly update for your pregnancy, but some weeks kind of feel like they're the same and some feel like there's different and more information, and this week feels like there's just so much information and so much I want to talk to you about and tell you about and relate it to my experience that I'm just excited to be with you today. My name is Jocelyn. I am a fellow mom of 5, and I am a big supporter of trying to find positivity during pregnancy. It is the only thing that has allowed me to have 5 children. So let's jump into today's episode and see what's happening at 31 weeks pregnant. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, fellow mom of 5 and host of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find the positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Let's find positivity during our pregnancies and in our motherhood together. Thanks for joining. All right, Mama, like I said, there's a lot that I wanted to tell you about today. Baby is about the size of a coconut. They weigh around 3.5 pounds and are going to be around 17 inches long. At this point, their senses are fully developed, all 5 of them, and their brain is starting to make connections and store that, which I don't know how they do all the research on this, but it sounds pretty fascinating. The babies can actually, I'm going to give some air quotes, smell or taste, more air quotes, the foods that you are eating that come through in the amniotic fluid. They might enjoy more sweet things, or maybe they even enjoy the potency of onions or garlic. I just thought that was pretty neat that they are starting to develop some of their food opinions. You sometimes hear women say that, this is the one I remember, is my mother-in-law drank Mountain Dew with one of her babies, and I think that child really likes Mountain Dew, and so they just kind of joke that that's why he likes Mountain Dew so much, is because the mom drank it so much during pregnancy. You hear other moms comment or talk about that. I haven't taken a lot of notes on like what I liked and ate, so I can't really say if my children have liked what I ate during pregnancy, but something interesting to think about for sure. Your babies enjoy playing, so their favorite playthings in utero are their hands, their feet, or even their umbilical cord. And I learned some fascinating facts about the umbilical cord. The umbilical cords are actually covered in a substance called Wharton's jelly. And this jelly is actually a protective feature that can help protect the cord from being compressed and cutting off the flow. So as the babies are kind of playing in utero, sometimes it may create a knot or wrap the cord around them. You've probably heard of the cord wrapped around the neck, and most of the time we tend to think of that as a bad thing, that we don't want the umbilical cord wrapped around their neck or knots in the cord. We tend to think of that as pretty negative, but because of this Wharton's jelly, it's not quite as bad as people might think. So it keeps this cord from being compressed or cutting off the flow of all the nutrients baby needs. So I found that super fascinating. I didn't know that. I've had 5 babies and I did not know that about the cords. I was kind of in the very fearful category when it came to the cord being wrapped around their neck and knots in it and whatnot. But it sounds like this protective feature can help with that. Now, there are situations where it turns out to not be favorable and good. So this isn't saying like you can erase all those worries, which there are still some reasons to worry about those things with the baby. Nonetheless, I found this fact interesting. So anyways, kind of something for new to learn about and also do your own research on and maybe curb a little bit of your worries about that. Babies' fingernails and toenails are formed and their hair is growing if they have any. I had a couple bald babies and then my other babies actually had some hair on their head. So it can be give or take whether or not your baby has hair on their heads. So moving into mom, this is actually the week that I became a mom my first time. I was at 31 weeks. It was a very unexpected surprise. I have other episodes on this. I will see if I can find them. I actually think it's been a while since I've done one on this, but I have. Anyway, I had severe preeclampsia. So preeclampsia is what it is before it turns into eclampsia. I actually had the seizures, which makes it eclampsia. And then to go a step even farther, I had what they called HELP syndrome. And it is very life-threatening, very scary, and if you don't get the baby out, you both die. Gratefully for modern medicine, we were able to do an emergency C-section, get the baby out. I don't remember a lot of it because I was very sick. Anyways, that's not to scare you, but to say that sometimes you need to expect the unexpected. I was going into my labors and delivery wanting to try a natural birth. And then I became a mom 9 weeks earlier than I thought I was going to. I hadn't even had the baby shower yet. So I did do baby showers after baby was born. But that was something I couldn't predict. We didn't know. They didn't catch it at the doctor's office. I just was kind of delirious one morning, and so my husband called my mom, and things were not right. So they rushed me to the hospital and got that baby out. Thank goodness for modern medicine. I know I talked a lot about me, but it's also good to think about or be aware of some of the things that can happen, and realize that sometimes the unexpected does happen. I am so grateful that I did take a birth class because I was really anti-C-section. I was very against it. And that birth class, for some reason, something shifted in my mind to realize, you know what, it's okay if you end up having a C-section type of thing. And that actually helped me to deal with having a C-section for my first baby. So if you haven't taken a birth class yet, highly recommend it. You have a hormone going through your body that is increasing called relaxin. Relaxin helps to loosen the pelvic ligaments, which help to make room for baby to move through it. This hormone also softens the cervix to allow it to open during labor. And this is good. We need these things to happen in birth and pregnancy, but it also can contribute to pregnancy pain. So there may be some exercises you want to do to help that. Squats can be a good one. Bridget Tyler has some suggestions in her 31-week video. I have her reference or her website in the show notes. You can just look up her YouTube video at 31 weeks. She has a few other exercise suggestions if you are having some of that pregnancy pain. One thing you may notice is swelling. You might be having shoes that don't fit right because your feet are swelling. Swelling tends to also be worse in the summertime. So if you are listening to this during the summer and you are pregnant, your swelling could be worse than if it were in the winter. Protein and eating more of the protein can help ward off some of that swelling, but you'll want to get 80 to 100 grams of protein. I know that's a lot, but it can help the swelling. Here's a few other things that may help if you feel that you are swelling and you want to try and combat that a little bit, are increasing your intake of sea salt. exercising and drinking more water, drinking lots more fluids. Those can help. I remember a few days, maybe a week or so before I had my baby via emergency C-section, I was swelling like huge, and I was like, whoa, I'm really putting on the weight. I didn't realize that severe swelling can actually be a sign of preeclampsia. So if you feel like you have really severe swelling, check your blood pressure or have your office check your blood pressure just to verify that it's not too high. Mama, you can do this. I know that some of these things, these shifts and these changes sound scary, and it can feel overwhelming, fill you with anxiety. But I don't want you to sit in those stressful emotions. I want you to use your 5 senses. So in each episode, I try and do a mental tip to help you get through mentally this pregnancy, because we need encouragement. Us women need encouragement mentally to help through pregnancy. There are so many things to worry about. I talked a lot in this episode with just my first birth. And I'll give you a note that gratefully all my other 4 births did not have any of those signs or symptoms, which was so amazing and what a blessing. So keep that in mind too, that there are miracles. But our minds need fed, and they need fed good things. So this week I want you to use your 5 senses to notice good things. I want you to use your eyes to find beautiful things to look at. Maybe it's outdoor scenery. Maybe it's your kids playing together. Maybe it's your husband taking out the trash, but find something good to look at with your eyes. I want you to find a smell that you like, that smells good, that refreshes you. Maybe it's the fresh, great outdoors. Maybe it's a candle or wax melt that you enjoy to burn. Maybe it's the smell of your husband's aftershave or soap, your favorite body soap or shampoo, but enjoy that and let your mind linger on the fact that you want to enjoy that smell. Now you can do that with taste too. Find something that you love the taste of or that you enjoy the taste of. And instead of chomping it down and eating it really quick, take time to savor it. And allow your mind to realize how good life is, that you get to taste what you're tasting and how good it tastes. Enjoy that. As we feed our mind more positivity through doing these exercises, it shifts away from negativity. So we've hit 3 of the senses. Now we're going to hit your hearing. Listen to something that you enjoy. Maybe it's a favorite podcast, a favorite book, music. Turn on some good music, but allow yourself to use that sense to find enjoyment, to find good, and to find happiness, to find positivity. The same with touch. Maybe it's touching a soft blanket that you love. Maybe it's holding your little one in your arm, or stroking the back of your husband's head and rubbing his hair in your hands, or even rubbing his arm, or touching your own arm and rubbing your own arm. There's a lot of ways that you can use these 5 senses to find good, to encourage positivity, and to look for the good in your life and in your pregnancy through your 5 senses. Mama, I am cheering for you. I know that pregnancy is oh so hard. It was still even oh so hard for me, even the 5th time around, but shifting my thoughts helped it to go so much better. I handled it better. I found more beauty in it, and that's because I shifted, because I chose to find better thoughts. I used my own course, as I mentioned, which is called the Morning Sickness Mini Course for Mental Health, to help me to navigate that pregnancy, to find more positivity through the audios and videos. There are 44 different videos, and as I mentioned, I have the audios of them as well, to help you find more positivity and to feed the positivity and to have tools to release the negativity when it comes, because it will. I want you to succeed. I want you to find positivity and to enjoy this pregnancy, to find good in it, and to be positive. You need you. Your family needs you, and God needs you in these endeavors to find more positivity in pregnancy. I am cheering for you, Mama. If you have any questions, my email is in the show notes. My mini course is also in the show notes, and lots of other resources and information for you during this pregnancy. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts and becoming the mother that you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. Thanks for joining. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward in your motherhood. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.